Thank you, President Carson. We'll go ahead and start with AuditLA. AuditLA, go ahead. You have 60 seconds to offer public comment.
Good morning, everybody. I sent Teacher Unite's going to be forwarding, hopefully, a report that I submitted that it's 71 pages, an actual CASP report on the area around Church of Scientology for all the ADA violations. The report is 71 pages long. A lot of the violations falls on the Church of Scientology, the cult of Scientology, but a lot of it also falls on the city. So I am bringing this to Public Works since it's definitely under your purview. And I'm hoping that, and to let you know, the planters are gone for the most part. There's only very few left. I guess Scientology got wind of this report, an official report, and they did finally, thank you God, remove these planters. It is like L. Ron Hubbard is free. But there's still a lot of work to do. And I'm going to ask that you guys please continue the work to make that area, to make the city ADA compliant. But now that we have an actual report.
Thank you. Thank you, AuditLA. We'll move next to Jill. Jill, go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
Yeah, I'm good. Though it's a terrific thing that the planters were removed. It should not have taken this long, and really riding you guys to do it. Though I don't think that you really had any part in it. I would also like to know that underneath was such filth that they had to use so much water and wasted so much water resources to power wash that absolute black mold-like looking appearance that was left on the sidewalk after they were removed. There are also some left on Fountain, and about 8 to 9 left. They should be also removed. And there's the bushes, the rose bushes are still there. There needs to be a plan put in place to prevent them from doing these inappropriate planter placements, because I bet you behind your back in the thick of the night, they're going to sneak them back on again. And I hope that you do something the next time they do it. Thank you. Bye.
We'll move next to Miriam. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So hell has frozen over and the fat lady has sank and the planters are being removed, every last bit of them right now. I don't know if you had anything to do with it, but at least we did our best to try and influence the progress. Now we can focus on other things. For example, the street vacation. And based on the CPRA request that we have received back, they are doing currently a smear campaign trying to talk about aggressive protesters on L. Ron Hubbard Way. I truly hope this will not influence on the street vacation process and it will be denied rather sooner than later. That's all. Thank you.
We'll move next to Mona M.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to further on with the planters. There are still 9 left that are still ADA violations and in the way of people trying to park along Fountain Avenue. The planters, there are about 50 of them in one of the parking lots, which where'd the other 200 go? Kind of curious about that. They got moved in the middle of the night, imagine that. So I know the city didn't do it. And where did all of that dirt go? The dirt that was in the planters was questionable on where the dirt came from. So kind of wondering where all of that is, where all of the fines went, where all your money is. Questions, questions, questions. Thank you. I yield back my time.
We'll move next to Gigi. Go ahead, Gigi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so now that the majority of the planners are gone, and hopefully the rest are gone, I hope that there are still fees and fines that the Scientology is responsible for. Just because they finally, months later, decide to move them, they still violated citations. That's not fair if they get away with it. So please keep up with things, make sure that they get fined for what they do, and find a way to stop this from happening in the future. And please get rid of the 86 thorny bushes that are in violation too on Catalina. Like, that's ridiculous. Those have been there just as long. So Get rid of those and no street vacation. There's a hospital right there. It makes no sense at all. In fact, there should be parking on L. Ron Hubbard. Like that would help the hospital a lot. That would help traffic a lot. You could make money off those meters. Like, look into that. But
Thank you.
that's it.
60 seconds. We'll move next to Yvonne.
Thank you, Ted. Yes, I'd like to continue on with the CPRA information that was provided to the closed hearing, provided by a lawyer on behalf of the respondent Scientology, was information that involved third parties such as AuditLA, and she was not notified that her name was brought up in a hearing. She was not allowed the courtesy of being able to respond.
Right
And
on.
in such cases in the future, I hope the policy of closed meetings include the requirement when third parties are mentioned, they are duly informed so that they can take the appropriate administrative actions, possibly civil suits, and take it up with the Bar of California. The attorney was inappropriate in his filings, and you should not support such behavior. I also want to ask that all.
We'll move next to Eyes to See. Eyes to See.
Greetings, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to talk. I just had one point I wanted to bring up since Department of Public Works has something to do with streets and the ordinance of streets. I wanted to bring up that the children of Scientology actually, with their own little hands, built the street in front of the Scientology Blue Building. Children like Lara FM, that's her internet name, also known as Megan Anderson, and more children built that street. I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you for hearing me today. I yield back my time.
And Georgina.
Hi, thank you. I'm thrilled that most of the planners are gone. However, there are still several still out there on Fountain Avenue. They've caused damage to the sidewalk. They're blocking ADA compliance. They're blocking parking with, you can't open your passenger doors without hitting one. So I still want those fined and removed. But the main thing I want to address is the fact of the continuous street closures by Scientology on L. Ron Hubbard Way. It's got to stop. It's greatly impacting traffic flow in the area. It's been incessant and it's been abused and it needs to be halted. Why is there not parking on L. Ron Hubbard Way? There are 2 hospitals in very close proximity there, and that parking would be greatly utilized by them. I think if we put in metered parking, we could have 50 meters at least on L. Ron Hubbard Way and earn 1,000 to possibly 2,000 a day. It would pay for those.
That's 60 seconds. Thank you, Georgine. Thank you, President Corson. We'll go ahead and get started with AuditLA. AuditLA, you have 2 minutes. Please identify which item you're speaking on.
Well, there's only 2, right? So I'm going to do both of them. Anything to do with contracts. Okay, I've been saying this for a while. I know eyes roll when I bring up the thing that I'm concerned about slave labor. We think it doesn't exist, but it does. Like one company or one organization or one cult, whatever, could get a contract, okay, for a lot of money, taxpayer money, but then you don't know what they are paying their people, whether it's permits or contracts, and it happens. I saw yesterday that there's you guys have given a contract permit for L. Ron Hubbard to be repaired, and yesterday there was a person making $47 a week vacuuming the street. Yes, vacuuming. And so, the fact that this is allowed to continue and allowed to be done in our city just gives me grave concern that we are not monitoring to making sure that the companies themselves are not participating in anything like that. Because it's not just the cult of Scientology that abuses and uses slave labor. There's others. There's other cases coming up. You could Google it. Because I was shocked to find out that even could go on in America. But it is. And there's a lot of people being taken advantage of, different communities being taken advantage of. And it needs to be, so I'm going to keep it on the radar for every contract. Also, that you guys, you spread the love and make sure that different, like women business owned, different, any challenge in any group can have a chance at the, a slice of the pie. That it's not just going to the same contractors who have, maybe been established forever. Let everybody have a chance and don't keep falling for, oh, this, okay, it's the low bid, but then they come back and want more money. So that's another thing I want to put on there. Make sure these people, they take.
We'll move next to Yvonne. Yvonne, you have 2 minutes to offer multiple agenda item commentary. Please identify which item you're speaking on. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ted. Item number 1 is the list for acceptable contractors to participate in the bidding process. 3 of those named are previously fined $3,000, $5,000, and $5,000. There's no indication whether or not those fines were collected or not, and what the justification was. It lists just simply the cause of the fine being illegal substitutions. Was that an employee that wasn't paid properly? Who knows? Number 2, this contract conclusion, hopefully, is when you were deciding whether or not to put a fine on a company for behavior that, quite frankly, your contract administration program manager did not catch the problem early enough to make an immediate correction. That's an inspection problem. So therefore, you feel maybe you shouldn't put the whole fine on the onus of the contractor. That's a good question to ask yourselves. When is it a program management problem and when is it a contractor problem? This time it's a both problem. L. Ron Hubbard Way, you've been collecting parking tickets on signs that are illegal.
Speaker, this
Are you
item is
gonna
not about
refund
L.
the
Ron
money?
Hubbard Way. Please stick to the agenda items for agenda item.
The agenda item is about fines, and the fines for parking tickets are collected by your department. Those departments need to refund the public for all the parking tickets that were illegally given. Thank you.
We will start with Goddess Transgender Queen.
Please approach the podium and you have 60 seconds to offer your comment.
Good morning. First of all, thank you our staff member start the timer before I even arrive on the stage. Second of all, my public comment is about the Public Work Volunteer Minister Program during the wildfire. And I know Public Work and started a volunteer minister program, and I applied to be the Public Work volunteer. But however, for whatever reason that public work was not identified to me, I was denied to becoming a public work volunteer minister. So in the future, I just wish that, we provide an equal opportunity to the member of the public to serve as a volunteer minister. And then instead of discriminating people, telling them, hey, you're not allowed to do whatever. We have a huge city, the sidewalk, we have billions, millions of projects need to be here. We need a volunteer minister, and then let's make sure everybody has an equal opportunity.
That's 60 seconds.
Volunteer minister.
All right. Next up, we will go with Mr. Growley.
Right, Dianetic board, listen up.
So yeah, once again, impermissible restraint.
Watch your
This is
ears.
fucking bullshit. Why can't I have my full time on all items? Why do you want to fuck with me here this morning, Mr. Vahed? I think you're a dick. And I just say, I think. Now, if I said I believe you're an asshole, then I'm believing it's a fact. God hates you and you're going to hell, Snyder versus Phelps. And why do I say that? Because those goddamn Marines didn't appreciate the church telling them priests rape boys and you're all going to hell. Why do priests rape boys? I want to know why. Why does a man want to stick his dick in a young child?
Oh.
What's wrong with you men? And why does a woman want to lie with a woman? I don't fucking understand. But the day I show up on God's doorstep, I'm ready for the nuclear war.
Alrighty
next up,
then.
we will go with Puppet.
Yes, and again, thank you for starting my time prematurely in violation of the ADA.
I'll pause your time.
Where
So
are
just
the-
to address
What?
the 3 comments that were received on the starting
Yes,
of
now, where are my goddamn streetlights on 8th Street and CD1? What'd you do with my streetlight money?
Do not
All the
condone
way at
the
8th Street
verbiage.
from Vermont all the way to Alvarado. They have not turned our streetlights back on. Every one of them is off. Yet on the border with CD10, west of Vermont on CD10, your president has given them the money to repair every one of their streetlights. So why are the brown-skinned poor not getting the same fucking services that CD10 and the Koreans are getting? And that's going to be on Friday's agenda in the immigration and equity. Look up the agenda.
Me too.
Turn on
It is not
my
cool.
fucking street lights so I can stop coming here
Ugh.
and looking at this ponytail faggot.
And that's 60 seconds.
Thank you. Well, that's the end of the in-person general public comment. We'll go to the Zoom platform, Mr. Knight.
Thank you. President Corson, we'll start with AuditLA. Good morning. Good morning, AuditLA.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I went to the Fire Commission yesterday because, the Cult of Scientology is beginning their attempt to endless permits again to close the street. Whenever they do this, they always block the fire lane, the required fire lane. So I went to the Fire Commission, who said that they are not, they don't enforce anything dealing with permits, including the fire lane, that would be you guys. And so I'm here to say, I am adamant that those fire lanes are open. I don't want to hear, because I know they try to, boo-hoo to the fire department that they're in danger. None of that's true. A year's worth of protesting, they've gotten no restraining orders, no convictions, nothing against anyone. They're peaceful protesters. And so it's nonsense. So I am going to put it like it needs to stop. Them blocking the fire lanes. They've been doing it for 30 years, mind you. They're saying it's because of new protests, but it's been 30 years they've been blocking the fire lanes.
Thank
The
you.
residents deserve.
And we'll move next to Yvonne. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to talk about those upcoming permit for special events. 222 and 241 are the numbers related to them. They should be denied because they have not yet paid for the full fees and assessments for the prior permits of last year. They owe the city and they should not be given future events. In addition, they should not be given events because they still have issues regarding the planters and the other permitting problems and sound violations still outstanding. They're not good with the city. They should not be privileged and have a special event permit issued to them. Thank you.
We'll move next to Mona M.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. I too had wanted to talk about the permit issues, in that the permits and the planters, even though the planters are moved, they were put there in violation of the ADA, but also in violation of the First Amendment to prohibit people from having freedom of speech. And that goes exactly against the UNRRA and the civil rights. And with that, I yield back my time.
And we'll move next to Jill.
Okay, I'm going to still continue on the planter issue. It should not have taken that long to remove them. The cult of Scientology is not to be trusted. Moving forward, you need to get a permit auditor, someone that will babysit and hold their hands and make sure that they're doing everything the right way. You are to post every portion of the permit on your website so people can see what they're doing. You cannot go for a street vacation, because if you do, you're blocking off one of the thoroughfares that go directly to their emergency room at the hospital, which is a poses a grave danger to people. And this is not a theocracy. You cannot allow them to make a street vacation to make it Vatican City. At that point, you might as well put on barbed wire fences like they did in the Holocaust to hold in their captives that are in that cult right now. If you do that, you might as well be a Nazi collaborator. Bye.
And we'll move next to Gigi.
Hey, today I want to speak about the street vacation that Scientology is trying to get on L. Ron Hubbard Way. They tried this in the past and it didn't work, and now they're trying now. And there's 2 hospitals that are right there that are going to be affected if there's no throughway for them. There's also an issue that I thought of because of this. Like, instead of the street vacation, why don't we just make y'all some more money and put metered parking there? Because there's hospitals there. Like, look out for the hospitals there. Help them out with more parking. Help make it easier for them to get places. Help the neighborhood so that there's not excessive traffic on other streets because that street's not available anymore. Like, but metered parking would make y'all a lot of money on that street. Like, go ahead and put meters in all along L. Ron Hubbard Way.
We'll move next to Miriam. It looks like Miriam has dropped. We'll move next to Alfred. Go ahead.
2 years ago, an activist known as William Good was arrested for a bogus 56.11 violation for blocking the public right-of-way. He was charged, as 5612 outlines, with a $2,500 fee, as well as given a bogus charge of vandalism. Scientology has been doing that on Fountain, L. Ron Hubbard, and Catalina. It's per violation per day as a new charge. I did the math. They owe the city over $1 million alone on just one charge. Why are you not going after them with a 5611 and 12 violation? You know they're breaking the law, and now Bill Delvec has the audacity to try to get a bogus public street vacation. How can they be in good standing when they break the law? Not my word, the law. 5611, a guy was arrested, a black man nonetheless, and you say you can't do any.
We'll move next to.
Hold on, Mr. Knight. 2 gentlemen in the front, this is your one and only warning. Please do not disturb the meeting or you'll be asked to leave.
We'll move next to Brian Millen. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your last name. Go ahead, Brian.
Nope, it's good. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, chapter 2, I started last week. This is a whole, like, a big can of worms because I didn't realize how insidious this encroachment of Scientology has been. I was, like I told you before, I was held captive on L. Ron Hubbard or away between both sides blocked by Scientology, telling me I had no right to be there, which is not true. It is a public street. It's an LA-owned street. They set up planters in violation. I found out they have no parking signs, which is also a violation. Nothing's being done. It's been over 8 months. People have been telling you people what has been going on, and you are blind and deaf to the whole thing. I work with blind deaf people. I'm a sign language interpreter. I will communicate that to you. If you could see me on screen, I will sign it to you. Do not let this cult of Scientology take over LA. That's their whole goal. And you're standing by saying, oh, it's okay, it's all right. And it's happening right under your nose. Listen to the people who are telling.
And that's 60 seconds. We'll move next to Eyes to See.
Hello, can you hear me all?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to talk about the street vacation of L. Ron Hubbard Way. I wanted to know, has Scientology paid the required $14,920 deposit for the street vacation? And also, just for the record, L. Ron Hubbard was a convicted felon, so you know. Please stop the biasness of the street vacation. Please, I implore you to stop conflict of interest. I want to thank you. Children's voices matter. Escuchar a los niños I yield back my time.
President Corson, I do see an additional hand raised on the Zoom platform. If you like, I can call on that attendee to see if they wish to offer public comment.
I think by my count, we've already exceeded the 10 minutes, so we'll go ahead and close general public comment and move on to multiple agenda items, public comment. We'll start with Goddess. You have items 12 and 13, so you will have 2 minutes.
Okay. Do not start the timer. Okay. Item number 12. Item number 12. Thank you. Start the timer 10 seconds early. It's about the sidewalk repair. Thank you. Dear dynamic president, I really don't know how many times that you actually watch the city council meeting. Your board are making like hundreds of millionaires every single year, and then do you understand why? Every year in the city of LA, if you care to watch the city council meeting, hundreds of trip and fall. And then every year, millions of billions, sometimes, pay out to those people because you guys failed to repair the sidewalk. So, I'm really lucky, but again, at the same time, I'm not fortunate enough to be one of those. But they are making a huge amount of money because you failed to do your job to repair the sidewalk. And the most important, I have several friends, they are wheelchair user. Some people have a luxury wheelchair. They are electrically motored, right? So nobody push. But a lot of my friends, we were not fortunate. We have the manual wheelchair. When they see a bump on the sidewalk, they are stuck. They cannot just call the board president and then the board president will be in vacation. Nobody can help them, unfortunately. Next one is called about the item 13 is about the Metro and DOT. Again, I don't know how many times that when we are talking about a Metro project that when I'm waiting on the Metro bus stop, there's no bathroom. And then our board member right here told me I'm not allowed to urinate on the street. But at the same time, board president, if you do not have a bathroom access within 1 mile radius of the bus stop, what can I do?
That's 2 minutes.
Can you blame me for that?
All right. Next, we have Mr. Growley. You did not indicated all items, which means you will have a total of 3 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Now, whether or not you believe me or not, you asshole taxpayers in the audience who pay for these sidewalk repairs, how many years have we heard about this Willits versus the city of Los Angeles, where a few individuals in their fucking wheelchairs allowed the city of Los Angeles to negotiate the terms of how we as the public are to make our sidewalks safe? Now, it's not that we're storing in a public area, no. It's just that, as you heard earlier, under breaking the law 5611, some jackassholes from the city departments want us to fix our sidewalk and streets. But that should not happen. We're paying for sidewalk and street repairs. We're paying for potholes. We're paying for ADA coordinator to consolidate all these issues back to this public works with that dickhead David Simon. What's wrong with that? To talk. And he talks a lot of fucking bullshit about the disabled population, just like that fucking cult Scientology that put those fucking barriers up on the sidewalk, jackass. Yeah, I'm talking to you, rookie. Now you know where I come from, huh? I don't wear this uniform to be a little bitch. I'm a simplified faggot, a part of the LGBT queer. And this fucking queer knows how to drive. If they ever make me carry a rifle, the first fucking Democrat on the street is who I will pull the trigger on, if I may. But today I speak about the conditions of our sidewalk repairs and our streets, the conditions that most of us fucking retarded asshole motherfuckers that pay for these taxes get nothing done with the infrastructure, Azzo. Does that sound familiar? So if you want to get in the Golden Gate arena with Trump, Say so. Build, create, and get our infrastructure up to date. Almost sounds like a rhyme, huh? But it's not a rhyme. It's a fucking crime when your fucking criminals take away from the public who pay taxes. Just like those dickheads in Huntington Park built that fake park. And now I can't go swimming and show off my dick skills, you dickhead. So now you know. Now you're absolutely absurd about that shit, huh?
And that's 3 minutes.
All right, we'll go to multiple agenda items on the Zoom platform.
All right, I signed up.
I only have you down for item number 1.
I signed up multiple.
Which is the second or third item you'd like to speak on?
All items.
All right, you will have a total of 3 minutes.
All right, there it is. Look at that, baby.
It's a shock
That's
factor,
been
I
there
used to
for
see.
3 years. It's completely empty. It's filled with leaves. It's got grates on it. One person steps through there, they're going to lose their foot. I have put 8 requests through 311. 844 South Hoover Street. I went to the council office. Nothing. In fact, they said your board has a policy. Is this true? That you will not replace those caps? Is that true? Because that's what they said, that they can't replace those caps. So that fucking thing sits there and gets filled up with leaves and trash, and it's got just these steel exposed girders. Goes down 3 feet. And I call because people every day get out of their cars at night and they walk right over that fucking thing. When is somebody going to lose their foot? Now, I'm telling people as soon as it happens to contact me, and I will give their lawyer all of my requests so that they can sue you motherfuckers personally. I want you fuckers to be sued. I want them sued personally on this board, whoever the fuck that was.
Which item are you talking? Which item are you talking about?
I'm talking about sidewalk repair.
Oh.
I want you personally held liable, not this city paying you. I want you fucking personally sued.
What are the other
and
items you'd
held
like to speak
accountable
on?
in a court of
You're
law
speaking on a single
for
item at the moment.
for endangering.
You're speaking. You need to speak on more than one item.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
What's the
Because
second?
the only way that I can do this,
Which other item are you speaking on other than the sidewalk
it's all
item?
items. It's all items.
We only
And
hear you
see,
talking about the sidewalk
I'm telling you
item.
right now, this is $2 million.
Please stay on topic, or we'll have to cut off your time.
You don't care that this is a $2 million claim. You don't give a fuck that somebody's going to put their.
Is there a second or third item you like to
Okay.
speak on?
So, that's the problem, isn't it? So we'll just go like, item number 1, fuck item number 1. You don't have the money for item number 1. You need to pay for 844 South Hoover Street in that hole. Fuck item number 2. You don't have the money for item 2 because you're going to have to pay when somebody injures their foot $2 million on 844 South Hoover Street because you won't replace a little concrete lid. Item number 3. Fuck item number 3 because you don't have the money to do it because you're going to get your asses sued off.
It's not funny, but it is one way to get through the
Somebody
items.
breaks their foot.
How is your
into that
comment
fucking
relevant
well.
to item number 3 regarding the bid withdrawal?
It's a bid withdrawal, right? It's on the fucking agenda, right?
What are you trying to comment on regarding
You
the bid
guys
withdrawal?
have to stop this. This lady has no accountability to you.
That's your time. All right, Mr. Knight, we'll move on to the multiple agenda items on the virtual platform, please.
Very well, President Corson. We'll go ahead and start with AuditLA. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, good morning. I'm going to start from the last one, the Metro and DOT projects. Okay, there's a Metro stop at Sunset in Vermont. It is 1 block away, okay, from L. Ron Hubbard Way. And it's such a busy stop that it requires 4 elevators to go down to the platform level, not the typical 2. And, but yet here on, I've submitted a report to Mr. Knight. You haven't received it yet, but I will send it individually to all the commissioners and to Ms. Choi and whoever else in the city attorneys, okay, that there are fake. And this is a certified report that the no parking signs seem to be fake. and that there's no red line, no parking on L. Ron Hubbard Way, even
Which
though it's
item are
being
you
enforced.
speaking on, speaker?
13, okay? Because I'm saying this is a city block that is 1 block away from a major metro station, and it is a DOT street. It is public. And you guys are enforcing it as if it's private, no parking. It is not only, okay, a major artery to the hospitals, it is a 1 block
Please stick
away
to the item.
artery
This is
to the
multiple agenda
metro.
item comments.
I am on agenda item comments. I'm saying, how are you having a street with no parking when it's not legitimate, so close to a metro
Which
stop? And you're
item
not.
regards parking in the streets?
Okay, listen to me. This is for DOT, which is the street, and then Metro, which is a block away. Do you not understand that, like, connection? That you are enforcing the no parking of a street that's not a no parking street, so close to a major metro stop. I don't understand, Ms. Choi, why you don't understand that. Okay, now let me go to the sidewalk repair one. Also in this report, you will see it talks about a sidewalk in front of Scientology on Fountain Avenue. I can't even go down it. I refuse, because once I went down it, I almost got flipped out of my, the motorized kind too. Not even just the non-motorized kind. My motorized chair, I almost got flipped out. And then I did get stuck. I could not get beyond. I had to have people unlock my chair to make it pushable to get out of it. That's how bad it is. And then all the planners there even made it worse. And I want to know, like, when are you going to fix it? And I want to know whose responsibility is it? Because the other person made a good point. Does the repair of that sidewalk belong
Do you
as a
have any
responsibility?
comments to make about the bid specifications on
This
that?
is,
Nicole?
yeah,
What's
I
the
want a
item
bid. This is
regard?
about sidewalks, okay? A
It's
report.
not generally about sidewalks, it's about bid specifications. and
Okay, I want a
connection
bid
with the sidewalk.
specification. I need to know, who do I get a bid for? Does it go to Scientology, or is it the city's responsibility to fix that street? Okay, now I want to go to the water one, okay?
That's 3 minutes.
Okay.
We'll move next to Yvonne. Please identify which item you're speaking on.
Thank you. I have to get my voice first. Number 5, actually all of up to number 5, it would help if you had the implementation date and when you desired implementation date and when you expect or desire to have the construction completed by. In addition, all of those types of items on the agenda should have where the money is coming from. Without that clear and front facing, it confuses the public, and it would benefit the board to be able to understand how the money is flowing through the finances.
Are you trying to speak regarding the bid submitted by the contractors?
Yes. When you're making an assessment, you need to know where the money's coming from and when the end date of the contract is desired. And you guys right now need to know that because you're not in normal operating mode. You're in a governmental situation of flux.
It's unclear which item you're speaking on. Can you please identify the item and stick to the topic?
Sure. Number 5. Who's funding it? When do you expect it to be completed? What is the WAG, the wild ass guess of how much it's going to cost? And what is the SWAG, the scientific wild ass guess? You don't know because you don't have it defined. Number 6, that says street vacation in example or a property exchange. And number 6 is a small amount of money for a removal of an encroachment and or easement on a piece of property. Now, when you're talking about a street closure or some other property, the city normally would have to go through a public bidding where it's open bid for anyone. And I hope that if you do vacate a road in the future or any other property, that it goes through the normal disposal of capital property. Open it up to bids and anybody can buy it. Don't just give it away. Property is precious in Los Angeles, in case you hadn't noticed. Number 7, the Green Street. Good. Do it if you can afford it. Again, know that you're managing money in a time where money is not secure if the funding is coming in any way through the
And
federal
that's 3
government.
minutes. We'll move next to Mona M. And you've identified 2 items that you'd like to speak on. Please identify which item you're speaking on, and your 2 minutes starts now.
Absolutely. Let's start with number 12. Contrary to popular belief, all people should have all abilities to be able to utilize the public rights of way, the path of travel, and sidewalks. Sidewalk repairs, the bids coming in should include all ADA requirements. Contrary to popular belief, people with disabilities, people with mobility impairments pay all sorts of damn taxes, and my money goes into there too. So, as the bid process, I should hope that all ADA requirements are included in that, all sidewalk repairs are included in that, and of course, that could be installed to the Willits decision and credited towards the $1.4 billion that the city has to pay through the Department of Justice decision. Number 13, for the transit, for the transportation. Smelly urinals that are really elevators and getting stuck on elevators. As a person in a wheelchair, I have been stuck on several of your elevators. Not fun, especially in the evening when there isn't somebody to come repair it and you're stuck on a platform and you can't get down and out of it. So repair of elevators, making sure that the path of travel is a part of that is imperative. Thank you, and I yield back my time.